guys, getting me back for a YouTube video today. So what I'm doing is just another movie review. Yeah, this movie is called Girl Who Escaped, the Kara Robinson story. Spoilers, of course. It does talk. I will be talking about sexual assault and murder because it is in this movie. So if you cannot deal with those, this is your trigger warning. So you can just leave. But yeah, so this movie is right here, and let's just get started.
A Lifetime original movie.
Are your parents home?
This is my friend's house.
Ripped from the headlines.
Kara's gone missing. Somebody must have taken her.
Based on a true story.
Wait.
Now, Kara, there are rules. And when you break the rules, there are consequences.
Escape.
Do everything that I tell you to do.
Survive.
He's likely killed at least 3 girls.
Any sign of her?
Wait. Escape. Survive. Escape.
Find this son of a bitch. This is a serial killer of little girls.
Survive.
You know, I'm not looking to hurt you. Not if you don't make me.
The Girl Who Escaped, the Kara Robinson story. Premieres Saturday, February 11th at 8 on Lifetime.
Okay, so this movie was released on February 11th, 2023. Trying to give it a start. So this movie is about Kara Robinson, and she was a 15-year-old girl, and she was watering her friend's yard, and then a man came out in a car and basically kidnapped her. So it talks about like her story. I think she was there for like 18 hours, and it doesn't sound like a long time compared to like other kidnapping ones, but I feel like you're with a serial killer, you are being assaulted, you don't know what's going to happen next, you don't know when you're going to go home, if you're going to go home. So I feel like even though it doesn't sound like that long, it is still a long time, and it probably feels like days and months, because she doesn't know if she's going to see her family again, and if she's even going to die, especially with a serial killer. So yeah, just want to put that out there. I do think that Kara Robinson is a very, very strong girl. I remember a lot of Alyssa McVeigh, I don't know her last name, from Believe Me. I'll explain that later, but it has Katie Douglas. She also played in Believe Me, was the actress. I think Katie Douglas does really good in these movies and everything. I feel like I don't think I could have seen another actress do that. But yeah, it's really sad. So her and her friend Jess was sleeping over, supposed to go to like a lake house with her other friend, I think Amber, and then Jess was taking a shower, and then she decided like she was gonna go water like the front plants, and the man basically walked up and was like, "Hey, your parents home?" And then she's like, "Oh no, this is my friend's house." And he's like, "Oh, okay, well I have these pamphlets for you if you can just give them to Jose or whatever." And like close like me to this camera, I guess, and he basically puts like a gun right here, and basically says, "Scream and I'll shoot you," and then puts her into the car and makes her go into this like crate thing. And I'm not gonna talk like really a lot about it. It is a really sad story. I feel like this girl is very smart. She started like memorizing like the songs that were on, how long it took. She got like the security code or whatever of like the container she was in. So I think like she was very smart, and that's how I like kind of like reminds you a lot of like Alyssa, I think that's her name, Alyssa maybe. But it just reminded me like they got all these like important small things, so then if they were able to get out, they had stuff to help find the killer. So I think that was just really important and really like sweet, because like she's 15 years old and is kidnapped, and she's thinking about stuff like that. So it also showed like it went back and forth between her and like her parents and Jess like trying to find her, and like everything like between that and a way like that. And then the cops were basically like, "Oh, she's 15-year-old girl, like she probably just ran away," which makes me so mad, because like they were just like, oh, she's a runaway, nothing to worry about. But, like, it's your kid. Like, even if they're a runaway, you still should put an Amber Alert out because they are under 50. Like, they're underage, and that's what she said. So it makes me mad how parents, like, other cops, like, don't believe them. And they're like, oh, it's just a runaway, nothing to worry about. You know? So that is kind of annoying. Just cops need to do better, I guess. I do like how it did. Like, she kept going, wait, escape, and like there were, like, certain parts, like, he stopped and was gonna put, like, gags on her, and he's sort of like, I have a gun, I'm gonna have it with me all times, do anything and I will shoot you. And she did, like, have, like, little, like, not visions, because you get maybe visions, but, like, scenarios, like, oh, if she hopped out and ran, she would have gotten shot or whatever. So I think I thought it was really cool how I did that, like, how it showed, like, the scenarios of what would have, like, of what she expected to happen when she, like, if she tried to escape. So I really thought that was cool. I like the cops just didn't care, honestly. Like, the guy's like, oh, I have kids of my own. And I'm like, and what would you do if your kid was missing? I'm just saying, like, they would have had to run away and be like, oh, just wait, we'll do something. And they don't. So annoying. Plus, the one cop, I forgot his name, but he's like the big old fat guy, got on my nerves, like, a lot. And I thought he should lose his job because of stuff he's doing. When she first got in the apartment with the guy, his name is, the kidnapper's name is Richard Evans, I think. He basically was like, what's your name, what's your last name, what's your mom's name, what's your address, like, stuff like that, to basically make her feel like, if you escape, I will find you, I'll find people you love, and I'll kill them. And then he basically told her, I will let you go when I'm done with you, you can report me, but you'll just always be known as the girl who was raped. So I think that was just, like, not interesting, but, like, you look at these people, and I've done it too, like, oh, they were kidnapped and everything, and I would hate to be looked at like that, have people, like, talking about me and be like, oh, she was kidnapped, she was raped, like, I would hate that. So I think that was, like, interesting how he said that, and then he made her watch the news to be like, oh, let's see if people are missing you, see if people are looking for you, and obviously she wasn't on the news because the cops couldn't care less. So just that. And then it's like a day, and she does do, like, one thing that she asks him stuff like, oh, like, your school, and he's like, oh, I graduated early, he was in the Navy, like, stuff like that. And then she, so he had pets, so she was recognized pets, like, really, like, stuff, like, she, like, tried to get to know him, but also stuff to, like, kind of, like, gather information. And then he made her dinner, and then she's like, oh, is there something I could do while I wait for you to make dinner? And he's like, yeah, I can sweep. So when she was sweeping, she tried to get to, like, the refrigerator and see, like, the family's doctor and stuff. And then they were in the bathroom. She saw, like, just like a woman would, and the woman had, like, long red hair or whatever. And it's like, oh, the woman was probably, like, at Disney World or someone, like, I just thought it was really interesting, like, she was, like, looking at all, like, these details and remembering them for if she was able to escape. Like, I just thought that was so cool. Yeah. And then, I was gonna say something, but I completely forgot. But, and then she basically, like, he ties her to the bed and he sleeps, and it's, like, in the morning, and then he's sleeping, so she, like, this scene is very stressful. Like, I've seen, like, this entire scene on TikTok before I even watched this, and I still was like, oh my gosh, I hope she gets away. So just have her, like, trying to get, like, her hands out, and she couldn't, and then she was, like, untightening that with, like, her mouth, and then she got out, and everything, and then the locks on the doors, and she ran, like, as fast as she could, and then she ended up stopping at two guys, and was like, I was kidnapped, please help me. They're like, what do you want me to do? To, like, she was like, please take me to the police station, remember this appointment, please. And I guess what I'm thinking, if I was just kidnapped, I don't know if I would get into a random person's car, but then at the same time, maybe she would, like, she had to get away, she didn't know where the police station was, so I feel like, you know, but yeah, like, no hate to her at all, like, I don't, like, honestly, I would probably be dead in, like, the first 5 minutes if I was kidnapped, because she was just a smoker and I'm not. So she gets to the police station, it is so sad when she gets in, there's something like the cops didn't believe her, they're like, wow. You know, like, they were, like, in disbelief. She just talked about it, like, she felt like they weren't doing anything. But then later, she does become a police officer, so she kind of learns and stuff, and they were just kind of, like, in disbelief. Like, not that I don't believe you, but, like, wow, this is happening, you know? So, she gets help, she tells the officer everything, and then they call her mom. And I literally had, like, tears in my eyes because it was just so sad. And then the cops, basically, she had to go back because she had to, like, identify the apartment. And they're talking about, like, all this other stuff, like, so they figured out, like, who the man was. And then she had to go to, like, the hospital to get a vape kit. And that, it didn't show it all. I do like with the movie is, there is sexual assault, I don't like that. But it doesn't show it, and I think that's what it does with, like, Lifetime movies. Like, it did that with The Girl in the Basement, too. And believe me, like, it lets you know, like, it's happening, but it doesn't show it to you. So you can just, your imagination is the best you'll get, which I'm really, like, happy that that's what happens. But, yeah. I am confused, like, why she didn't tell them, like, he had to write down my family stuff and everything, like, I had to tell him. Like, I feel like that would be like the first thing I told them, because I feel like, oh, he's gonna know I'm not there, he's gonna go to my mom's house and kill her or something like that. But, hey, I'm not judging. I don't want you to be like, oh my god, you're judging. Like, I was just kind of confused on that, but other than that, I was like, okay. I understand, like, she just wanted her life to go back to the way it was. Like, she was able to do this stuff before, and now she can't. Like, she can't just go and walk to her boyfriend's house, because of course her mom's worried, which makes sense, and everything. There is, like, this container that she sees, and, like, he, of course, didn't want her to see it, so she tells him about it. And then when they check the house, there was, like, not, like, souvenirs of, like, other victims and everything. So then that's when we know, like, there were other victims and stuff. And then the cop was, like, the other one, like, the mean one, she said something, I don't remember what she said, but he's like, there were other victims. You know, there were 3 other victims, and that he would have killed you too. It's just the way he said it, and I was like, you don't say that to someone. Like, they went through a deal. Like, a deal. You don't go be like, there were other victims, and just let you know, like, you would have died too. It's just, that's horrible to say to someone. I hate that. Yeah, I do like, in this movie, the cops do believe her, and like, her parents and everyone are just nice to her. She just wanted things to go back to normal, which, I mean, makes complete sense. But then the cops are also trying to find this man, because that includes, like, the FBI and stuff is involved, because, of course, like, there are other victims in, like, different states, and then there's, like, a manhunt for him. And then they find his wife and the mom and then the sister. And then the sister is, like, gonna meet him in Florida, she tells them. And he's like, oh, this is basically gonna meet and when. So we're kind of, like, helping the police, which I thought was really cool. And in the movie, they do, like, he's, like, walking and he sees the cars and he starts to run. So, like, the police, like, chase him on foot. And then he ends up, you know. But then I listened to, like, her story afterwards. Actually, it was, like, a police car chase. And then in the car, I think they got, like, a crash or something. And then he was in the car, like, and then he just did it. So I thought that was, like, cool. Not cool, but, like, you know. So yeah, she tried to go back to, like, the baseball game, and then the girl was just sitting there, like, oh, like, she was there, she was like, oh, her dad touched her, and she walked out, like, do you know me? And then she didn't say anything, and she's like, yeah, I didn't think so. So I just feel like stuff like that, like, she was, like, every time, like, she would, like, go into public, people would say stuff, and be whispers about her, they'd be like, oh, you okay, like, you don't have to be here, like, I understand, like, but she just wanted to go back to the way things were 2 days ago and stuff. Yeah, and then she finds out that he committed suicide, and she was upset, and which makes sense because she wanted him to know that it was the worst mistake of his life to kidnap her, and that she wanted to face him in court and wanted to be like, hey, like, you kidnapped me, that was a mistake. Now I'm gonna get you, like, which makes sense because she wanted the justice. One thing that kept her going was the justice that she was gonna get. And everything, so, like, that whole scene was really sad, but it was sweet how she's like, oh, like, my family's not gonna have to hear in detail, about what happened, because of course like when there's gonna be a court case you have to like go into detail, which is really sad. So she's like, okay, like that's good, like they don't have to know, because of course like, you wouldn't want your family to know. So yeah, and then she became like a police officer and everything, and I think like a sexual assault therapist or something like that. It says at the end of the movie, and she does get married and has 2 boys. So I think the movie is really, really sad, but I do think like everything that she has done, everything that she continues to do, is just, she is just such a strong girl, and I thought it was a really good movie. It's on Lifetime. It says it's free, but then like you go to click on it, but like sign in with a TV provider. So I had to like, of course like I don't have a TV provider, whatever. But like if you're not able to do it on Lifetime, because I guess for some reason, I don't know. But yeah, it is $3 to rent, so it's not a lot. I do recommend you watch this if you're into true crime. I think it's a really, really good movie. Key Douglas did freaking phenomenal. I just thought it was so good, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. But yeah, I think my favorite thing is like when I watch these movies is I love to like go and I like to like listen to the whole story, because I just think they're just so, not inspiring, but like wow, like they did all of that, and I like that's just amazing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a little different movie review. If there's any other movies you want me to review, it doesn't have to be like new releases. It could be movies like 10 years old. If you just want me to review them, I happily will. But I'll see you guys next week.